From Tucker Stadium on the campus of Tennessee Tech University, we play for the state championship in Class 5A. It's the Blue Cross Bowl. Columbia taking on Hendersonville. Hello again, everybody. I'm Mike Keith, joined by my longtime broadcast partner, Larry Stone. And we're going to bring you what figures to be a tight battle tonight, the Battle of Middle Tennessee.
You might just draw the dividing line, Mike, at Music Row, because Northern Middle Tennessee represented by Hendersonville tonight, Southern Middle Tennessee represented by Columbia.
Columbia comes into this game 12-2, and their outstanding leader on offense and defense is number 30, and that's Tredarius Goff.
Talk about a playoff run this guy has had it. 466 rushing yards in the playoffs, 67 touchdowns in his career at Columbia. He's a handful.
Vance Ballou is the head coach at Columbia. He's a graduate of Columbia Central, and he thinks he has a team complete enough to be a state champion.
Okay, on offense, we feel like we're led by our offensive line. Has done a great job for us. In the backfield, we're led by Tredarius Goff and Chris Martin as our two running backs. Quarterback, sophomore, Matthew Markham has done a great job for us. And then we feel like we have two receivers in Eric Ballou and Dre Hall. Defensively, we're also led by Tredarius Goff at middle linebacker, Shaquille Mason and Kenneth Hughes on the defensive front. And then we feel like we've got an improved secondary from the first of the year.
If Hendersonville is going to win this game tonight, Larry, they've got to have a big night from number 57, Joe Townsend.
And he's shown the ability to do that, Mike. 79 tackles, 7 sacks. What they need him to do tonight, however, is be a force in stopping the run.
Bruce Hatfield is the coach at Hendersonville. He played linebacker right here at Tennessee Tech. A lot of good memories then. He'd like some good memories tonight to win a state championship.
All right, offensively, we're a wing T offense, but we predominantly run the football, and that's what the offense is designed to do. We'll have 4 or 5 people touch the football. It starts with our quarterback, and you know, obviously it's no secret we want to establish the run and some play action pass. Defensively, you know, we're a 7-man front with 5 linemen and 2 linebackers in the box, and you know, obviously Columbia is so good at running the ball. We want to try to negate their running game if possible. Our defensive backs will have to be great on their play action pass, so it'll be a huge.
Let's take a look at tonight's keys to the game, sponsored by the Governor's Highway Safety Office. And we start with Columbia. They need to do what they've done throughout the playoffs, get penetration.
Well, the wing T requires you as a defensive player to really react well. You can't be hesitant. You got to make a decision and go. That's going to be key tonight.
And Columbia needs to use the run to set up the big pass plays.
It's the oldest part of football. If you dare me enough to throw the football, I'm going to do it. And Hendersonville's got a couple of receivers that can make big plays.
Hendersonville, their keys starting with get Columbia's runners on the ground.
Mike, Columbia is going to bring it play after play. It's a power run game that one coach called, it's like an all-day sucker. So Hendersonville's going to have to do it play after play.
And Hendersonville has got to play great special teams.
And they did last week. A pooched kickoff recovered, a blocked punt, a kickoff for a touchdown, a blocked field goal last week. Can they do it again?
The Commandos and the Lions up next. It's a special night as Columbia takes on Hendersonville for the 5A state championship. But the Lions will play tonight with heavy hearts. The third member of our crew, Jonathan Hutton, joins us with the story of Dylan Rebor.
Yeah, Mike, Dylan Rebor, a 16-year-old cornerback, a junior for the Columbia Central Lions, has battled cancer throughout the season, and he's been been in the thoughts and prayers of the Columbia Central teammates. And today, after a heroic battle with cancer, Rebor passed away, and definitely on the minds tonight of Columbia. And Mike, they're going to wear a special decal on their helmet tonight, and they'll be thinking about him throughout the night.
Number 25, Dylan Rebor. He was at their game last week where they knocked off Knoxville West at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. And it was a moving moment for all the Lions. Columbia wins the toss, elects to defer their option, so Columbia to kick off to Hendersonville. Ryan Rogers, number 23, is deep along with Nigel Jones. Kick comes downfield. It's going to be Jones getting the opportunity at the goal line. And great kick coverage to begin as Columbia comes out firing right away. Hayden Salazar with the tackle at the 11-yard line. So Hendersonville and their wing tee getting ready to get started with their junior quarterback Hunter Brown, 6'4", 207. And Hunter Brown, when he goes in on defense, Larry, plays defensive end. So this is a guy who's not only a good athlete, but he's obviously a tough guy.
He took over this offense after a shoulder injury sidelined their original starting quarterback this season.
In the wing tee, Brown's going to throw it on first down, looking deep downfield for Jones. He's there. He got it. Jones catches the ball and is finally run out of bounds in Lion territory at the 47. Play good for 42 yards as they go to Jones, entering this game 37 catches for over 600 yards and 4 touchdowns. And they figure if Columbia's going to play up tight, let's take a shot.
Brown says that they have mixed up their offense and thrown more passes in recent weeks. I don't know that many of us expected a pass on the first play.
We're going to get a pass on the second play. No, we're going to get a sack. That's Braden who comes in to knock Brown down back at the 49-yard line. Braden has had a wonderful playoff run so far. Loss of 4 on the play. Here are the starters for Hendersonville. As it's going to be 2nd down and 14 in the backfield. Elijah Howell is a backup quarterback. Watch him throwing it sometimes. David Pretty, their leading rusher. Here comes Pretty. Power sweep left side. He gets the yardage lost back, but that's it. Taken down at the 47 of the Lions. Making the stop there is Hayden Tate. So looking at the defensive starters, you see Goff, 16, make that 8 sacks on the year for him. He's had a big year, their leading tackler. In the secondary, Ballou with 4 interceptions. So 3rd down and long. This is not where Hendersonville wants to be.
No, they want to keep it manageable, and they do that with their run game. But as we said, making some plays through the passing game. Can they come up one here?
They stay in the wing tee. Brown's going to throw it. Got a man. It's Jones. He's got the first down. Finally taken down as Goff rallies to make the play, but it's an 18-yard pickup. And if you're Hendersonville, you have to like what the pass game's given you early, Larry.
Well, and if you're Columbia, you don't like what happened on defense. You got a linebacker there coming out on a wide receiver. Grayson McCaig lost the receiver who comes up with the big play and gives Hendersonville the first down.
Jones already 2 catches for 60 yards, and we've played less than 2 minutes. At the 29, got an inside handoff. That's Gray, the fullback. And Gray is able to pick up 4 yards. Gray, 5'8", 200 pounds. He'll be an integral part of the commando defense as well.
4 different guys have rushed for 450 yards or more for this offense.
You can't key on any one guy?
No.
And Brown, the quarterback, can run particularly in short yardage. Power sweep coming again with Pretty. He looks for room on the cutback, not there. And there's Shaq Mason to knock him down for a 1-yard loss. That was one thing that the Columbia coaches really wanted to guard against is the cutback. And you'll see here the angles they take to the ball. Staying in their lanes, properly done, Larry.
You know, I think almost he would have had more running room had he stayed to the outside, but he cut back into some traffic there. Columbia did a nice job closing that off.
3rd and long. As Brown is going to throw it. He's going to screen it. Gray's got his 7th catch of the year. Going to have a chance at his first down as he gets inside the 20. He's right at it. Gain of 7 on the play. I think he's a wee bit short, and they're signaling right away that he came up just short. So 4th down in Hendersonville, a decision to make. Well set up.
Yeah, nice play concept there and nice blocking by 57 on that particular play for Hendersonville. They're going to go for him, Mike.
Joe Townsend getting the block out there. He's the left tackle. You wonder if they'll try to run behind him here. Moore is now the fullback. They give it to Pretty, running right. He's met at the line of scrimmage, driven back. He did not make it. And so Columbia giving up 2 big pass plays early, but their defense holds, and the Lions get the football at their own 20-yard line. And that's a big moment for them in the early going.
Oh, it is, because it looked like that Hendersonville was going to march the football down and have success, but instead on the 4th down play, they hand the ball off. And the Columbia defenders do a nice job of being patient. That's one of the things that you have to do with the wing T. They get good surge up front and come up with a big defensive play. Wow.
Hughes and Braden and Harvey. Lots of Lions there to make the stop. Here's Matthew Markham and the offense for Columbia. They're in the eye. They'll start off giving it to Martin, running right, and Martin has a couple of yards. Let's look at the Columbia offensive starters. A lot of the same guys on defense. Mason and Hughes on that left side, giving them a lot of size. In the backfield, Price, a 244-pound fullback. Chris Martin will alternate at tailback with Tredarius Goff. Ballou and Hall both averaging over 20 yards a catch. Markham going to give it to Martin, running left. A lot of room. Breaks a tackle. Could be on his way. He's finally grabbed and taken down at midfield. 29 yards on the play for number 3, Chris Martin, a 5'10", 190-pound sophomore.
Play made here with a block on Shaquille Mason, their 307-pound senior. Did a nice job. They have got a lot of size, this Columbia offensive line, and they just blew Hendersonville off the ball.
Going to be tough for Hendersonville in that 5-man front because of this great size that the Lions possess up front.
307, 300, 260, 258, 242. Big.
Markham's going to throw it. He's in trouble, trying to scoot away. He's taken down for a loss. Excellent play there by number 2, Taylor Bozeman, for a loss of 3. Good penetration up front forced Markham to tuck it, realizing that he needed to get away from Big Townsend. He stepped up, and Bozeman filled the gap.
Tredarius Goff missed a block that might have given him a little more time, but probably what the coaches want to see him do is make a decision quickly and go with it.
This is Goff with the carry. He's 235 pounds, and he's got nearly 8 yards on the play.
Pinball.
You love those guys who are great after first contact, and Tredarius Goff is. We look at the defensive starters for the Commandos. Joe Townsend, the 285-pounder. Kamen Russell, also a special player. Whit Gray, the leading tackler. Bozeman right behind him. And then in the secondary, Elijah Howell makes things happen with Jeff Patton. They're going to run the option. Pitch it back to Goff. He's trapped in the backfield and taken down by Dye. No gain on the play. And so the Lions have a decision to make. Going to be 4th down at about 6. And I think the punting unit may be on their way in. Not something they do a lot. Ballou is the punter. And deep to catch this punt is Jarrell Adams. Hendersonville got to be careful here. Ballou, low kick. Adams lets it bounce, fields it on a hop inside his 10. He's in trouble. Trying to get a block to the outside. He gets one as he cuts back. Nice move by Adams to get out to the 20-yard line. Return of 13 after a punt of 39 yards. So a lot of excitement to begin, and we want to encourage you to show your spirit by texting your school's keyword to 37048. Columbia Central, your code is Bowl 9. Hendersonville, your code is Bowl 10. The school with the most votes at the end of the game will win a $1,000 donation from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee. Standard text messaging rates apply. 1 vote per phone will be counted. So that's a good way to show your school spirit. As here come the Commandos with their second try. Brown's going to throw it again, and he's got it complete. That's Cant who makes the catch. And it's a gain of right at 7 yards as Connor Cant, 6'1", 157-pound senior, makes the grab.
Well, it's interesting that Hendersonville has come out here and I think said, look, we're going to have to mix things up to try to get some plays and get a lead and then get our run game going. I think none of us would have expected these many passes to be thrown this early on.
2nd down and 3. Give it inside to Big Moore, the fullback. Nothing. Moore, a 220-pound senior, taken down for no gain. And now a 3rd down and 3 upcoming.
It's almost like, Mike, that these two teams are going to have to kind of feel each other out a little bit.
Well, you know, Hendersonville and Columbia have not met since 1986. None of these guys were even born.
That makes you feel old, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Back in the wing tee on 3rd down. Brown's going to throw it. Hit as he throws, but complete. Jones has got it and does a nice job not only getting his 1st down, but driving for more. Cisco finally makes the tackle, but a gain of 13.
Cisco giving him a little room, the receiver a little room to make that play. Just beyond the sticks. Hendersonville knew exactly what they had to get, and they get it.
Hendersonville realizing with the size of Columbia, they've got to come out, throw the football, spread them out. So far, it's working great. Brown's numbers outstanding to begin. Back to the wing tee. They're going to run Moore, the big fullback, on the right side. He's got a couple, keeping him honest. Moore, 511 yards rushing. Pretty, 608. Gray, 458. Howe, 501. That's the balance you're talking about for the Commandos.
The size issue is interesting because when these two teams came out on the field for warm-ups, you could just see it with the eye view here of Columbia, a much bigger team than Hendersonville.
Going to throw the quick screen. Jones' 4th catch. A lot of room. He slips on the turf and picks up 7. Would have had his 1st down easily had he not fallen. But boy, are they taking advantage of him early in this contest.
He comes into this game as Hendersonville's all-time leading receiver. And obviously Hendersonville, as Hunter Brown mentioned, the quarterback, that they are willing to kind of change their game plan every week to try to take advantage of the opposing defense. You're seeing a lot of quick screens. The pass protection has been enough, though Columbia has gotten some heat on Brown.
3rd and 1. Brown's going to give it to Pretty, turning the corner. He got a yard as he stretched the ball just over the 50. Larry, I think that's enough.
Boy, I thought that one was going to go. But it looked like Shaquille Mason kind of reached out with one paw and stopped that. There was a big gap there that Hendersonville looked like they were on their way to a big game. But 1st down keeps the drive alive.
Hendersonville doing it different ways in the playoff. Beating Gallatin, who had beaten them the week before. Going to Paris, knocking off Henry County. Beating Clarksville Northeast, and then going to Memphis and knocking off unbeaten Ridgeway last week. On 1st down. Inside reverse handoff to Pretty, nothing really there. Well diagnosed by Mason.
Columbia's doing a nice job on the interior of the offensive line. Basically every play, you're seeing them push the Hendersonville offensive linemen back. I think that's one of the reasons that Hendersonville has gone with some of these different kind of plays, some misdirection, some screens, some things to try to get moving with the football.
J.C. Collier comes into the lineup. He's a tight end on the left side. They stay in the wing tee. On 2nd and long. Brown under pressure. Steps up. Dumps it short. The pass is complete. This is Howe looking for room. He's chased down from behind and taken to the turf by number 10, Javon Bullock. we've got a commando down. That play picked up 5 yards as Brown did a nice job buying time and looking back, finding Hal, going and really getting a low throw. I don't know about that. But making the first man, Tate, miss, and then getting what he could, and now it's 3rd down and manageable. Brown is hurt. Brown, the quarterback, is hurt. He took a hit from Mason at the very end of that play, and so he's got to come to the sidelines after a great start throwing the football. So I think this is going to be Howell, who caught the last pass, who's going to have to go in at quarterback. That is 12, Howell. He's thrown for 329 yards and 5 touchdowns on the year. They'll go to the shotgun on 3rd down. Low snap. He's got it. Trying to sweep left. Running hard. Did he get there? No. They mark him out of bounds after a 2-yard gain. So Hatfield has a decision to make here. Do the Commandos on 4th down and a long 2 think about it near midfield?
And how much will that decision be affected by the quarterback situation in this situation? Because obviously they came into this game expecting it to be Hunter Brown. Though Elijah Howe, he was the starter at the beginning of the season, lost his job because of an injury. He gives them kind of the run-pass option that Brown does not.
They're going to go. They need a little over 2 yards. They have to get the football almost to the 39. It rests at the Lion 42. Taking a long time, the Commandos, and I believe they're going to ask for timeout. They do, with 26.7 seconds remaining in a scoreless first quarter. TSSAA brings you the best in Tennessee high school sports coverage. You can watch a live stream of each Blue Cross Bowl game as it happens, or go back and watch them on demand. The site also features complete coverage of the state championships in a range of sports from volleyball to basketball to baseball. So log on to TSSAA and check out all of the action. Lots of action here so far.
It has been, and what a great atmosphere here in Cookeville for these state championships. Columbia had a pep rally last night at the mall in Columbia, and the mayor said everybody in Columbia needs to be here tonight. I think he may have gotten close to his wish.
Well, the purple and gold of the Columbia Central Lions certainly fitting in with the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles, as the Commandos have decided, after thinking about it, let's see about punting them deep.
Officials want to talk about something.
And the Columbia coaches, I think, making sure that they are not in a situation where a fake would be a good option for Hendersonville. They're trying to make sure everybody's lined up. They'll play a punt safe as Ballou drops deep. Ballou's really had a nice year. And really come on in the playoffs, too.
Delay of the game penalty.
A delay of game penalty will move them back 5 yards and will give the punter, and this is Sean Bowerman, a little more room with which to work. Bowerman averaging nearly 36 yards a kick this season. He's also their place kicker. 4th down and 7. Bowerman hits a low and Ballou lets it go, and it'll be ruled out of bounds at the 12, so he does his job. Columbia getting ready to go on offense, but backed up.
Mike was watching Brown on the sidelines for Hendersonville. Didn't look like that he was shaken up very much, so it'll be interesting to see if he's able to come back in on their next offensive possession.
Going to spot the football at the 18 upon reflection. Hunter Brown talking with his teammates. Seems to be okay. See if we can find out more about that momentarily. And Brown off to an amazing start throwing the football. Here's Markham and the Lions. Going to run it with Ballou on the sweep. Ballou, his 5th carry of the year, turns the corner. and is out near the 25. That's a gain of 7. Ballou has 2 rushing touchdowns this year, along with 6 receiving scores.
Talked about Hendersonville's quarterback change. Columbia also made a quarterback change this season, going to Matthew Markham. The coaching staff said they weren't sure that it would turn out to be the right decision, but he's shown great poise, and Mike, he's also shown great leadership for this Columbia team.
He's taken their completion percentage up around 60%, outstanding for a high school quarterback. Going to run Martin on 2nd down and short. Martin tries to escape with a cutback and is able to get a yard. So on 3rd down and 2, Goff will come back in, but he'll have to wait because the first quarter is over. The 2 teams punch, counter punch, and nobody able to score yet. Columbia and Hendersonville scoreless after 1 in the Blue Cross Bowl for 5A. Scoreless first quarter, Columbia and Hendersonville. Let's go to Jonathan Hutton on the sidelines for an update on Hunter Brown.
Mike, Hunter Brown hit in the ribs after one of his pass attempts in the first quarter. Air knocked out of him. They checked him out on the sidelines. He will return at quarterback for Hendersonville.
Right now, he watches as Columbia has 3rd and 1 to begin the second quarter. Goff is the tailback. He's getting the ball, and look at him ram forward a yard and more. Goff this year, 128 carries, over 1,000 yards, 24 touchdowns. Larry, that means 1 out of every 5 times he catches the football or he runs the football, he scores a touchdown.
Well, and he's getting a lot of help from this offensive line. Columbia's offensive line just blew him out of there on that 3rd down play.
Markham sets him at the 34. Going to fire it downfield. He's got it complete. And making the grab is Hall. Hall is 29th catch of the year, 16 yards down near midfield. That's the other guy outside of Ballou who makes him go in the pass game. As we look at the first quarter stats, good running for the Lions, but the pass yards, Hendersonville 98 passing yards on their way to 4 first downs. Columbia at midfield. They're going to run Martin left. The speedy Martin's got room, and he's got a first down. You can see Martin's the speed guy, Goff's the power guy, and the 2 work well off one another. But the bad news, apparently for Columbia, there's a flag down.
Preliminary signal. Looks like it's going to be a holding penalty.
We have a hold on the white team, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
So a 13-yard gain is wiped away, and the Lions are moved back to their own 40-yard line. Saw Hendersonville keep the ball for the majority of the first quarter. They had it for nearly 9 minutes, 17 plays to just 7 for Columbia. This is 1st and 20. Martin remains the tailback. Markham's going to throw, looking for Ballou. The pass is incomplete. Pretty coming with a hard hit right at the end of that play. 2nd down.
Ballou a little slow to get up. That was one that I think the quarterback would like to have back. A little high and put Ballou in a place where he was going to get hit hard. You see it here. Quarterback just a little high. I guess he had to throw it high because of the Hendersonville defensive line.
And to Pretty's credit, he really backed off taking the big shot there. Just so happened Ballou's helmet rammed into it. 2nd and long. Markham going to throw to Ballou. He's got this one. He's on his way. Ballou, one man to beat, and he's taken down from behind. Great tackle. After a 59-yard gain, Rogers rallying to make the stop inside the 10-yard line, but Ballou bouncing back from the big hit. Could have taken another shot there, but obviously unafraid, Larry, as he gets the best of Pretty on that play.
2 missed tackles on that particular play, and then give Ryan Rogers credit for the catch-up on that. It looked like he was gone to the house.
8-yard line. Markham's got him set. Goff's getting the ball. Goff's ramming forward. Goff's down just short of the goal line.
This Columbia offensive line, I mean, they just blow you off the line of scrimmage. They do a really nice job opening the holes for this running back.
We mentioned the stat a moment ago, 24 rushing touchdowns for Goff. He is the all-time leading scorer in Columbia history with over 400 points, 67 touchdowns. You know what's coming here. But Columbia can't get properly set, so they ask for a timeout. And we remind you the TSSAA Network will again partner with the Tennessee Public Television Council stations this spring to bring you complete coverage of the high school state basketball championships. Watch the best boys and girls basketball teams from around the state compete over 3 consecutive weekends in March. Check your local PBS station for details.
That's usually when we've seen Columbia in these kinds of situations, right?
That's really how the Lions were always known for years as a strong basketball school. But Vance Ballou came in. He took over as the interim coach 1 game into 1998. And he really built them up in 4A. Then they went 5A. Kind of struggled a little bit, but now he has them at a place where they've never been before. If Columbia wins tonight, it's their first state title in 58 years. 9th play of the drive. 2-yard line. They snap it to Goff. He breaks the first tackle, and he's in for a score. That is Tredarius Goff, the 230-pound senior, and Columbia, after the big Markham to Ballou hookup, finishes the drive with a touchdown.
That's want to and will. A lot of running backs on that initial hit would go down, but not Goff. He ran into one Hendersonville defender. He bounced off, bounced right, and found the end zone. Nice play.
Extra point on the way, and the kick is up and good from Harris. So Columbia draws first blood in the 5A Blue Cross Bowl. The Lions leading the Commandos 7-0. 9:57 remaining in the half as we go to Jonathan Hunt.
Joined by Catherine Smith of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, the title sponsor for our Blue Cross Bowl here in Cookeville. And Catherine, we've heard about this text campaign going on, the Fan Face-Off. Tell us more about it.
Yes, it's our first year ever. It's the Blue Cross Bowl Fan Face-Off. So we wanted to get the spirit into the community and into the crowd off the field. Ask that these communities contribute by sending a keyword to our text number. For Columbia, that number is Bowl 9. For Hendersonville, it's Bowl 10. And you'll send that to 37048. And by the end of the game, we'll have those numbers, and whomever requires the most votes will win a $1,000 donation to their school. So do keep in mind it is just 1 vote per mobile phone, and text messages rates will apply. So just keep that in mind.
Mike, schools battling for $1,000.
I like it.
You can't send multiple texts like you were doing during that interview.
Like it.
You're trying to help both sides.
Yeah, I was trying to go for both the Lions and the Commandos. Harris to kick off. Rogers is deep. He ran back a kickoff for a touchdown at Ridgeway last week. So they kick it away from him. Jones on the run. Got it at the 14. And he's across the 25 to the 26. So let's see if Brown comes back out. Hunter Brown, 7 of 7 passing for 98 yards in the first quarter. Tredarius Goff, you see him there staying in the game at linebacker, already with a nice start, the game's only touchdown. And that is Brown back in the game at quarterback. Starting from the 26, gonna throw it again. Fires downfield, it's caught by Dye. He's got some room. 9th catch of the year for Dye. as he's up to the 39-yard line. Dye is a big one, 6'3", 250, and he's a guy that can be an equalizer against the size of Columbia.
No doubt, and nice feel, just kind of settled down, waited for the football, and then a little burst out to the outside, had a nice feel. A lot of players would run back into traffic. Dye did a nice job running the opposite way.
And Tate, a good tackle there, going low on the big man. Brown going to throw it again. Firing deep downfield, looking for Jones, who is run out of bounds by the defender, Tate. That's a good job by Tate, sort of walling him off there. 2nd down and 10. That's the first miss for Brown.
The biggest thing of Hendersonville, I mean, you look at the stat sheet and they've won basically every category through the first quarter of this game, but it's been a troubling part of the plan the last couple of weeks for Hendersonville. They've just been inconsistent. They'll make a play, and then kind of something falls apart.
Well, they only had 127 yards of total offense against Ridgeway last week. They won that game with special teams. Brown going to throw. Fires way too high for Pretty, who was going up the seam. And it's now going to be 3rd down and 10. The Commandos, under Bruce Hatfield, played for a state title in 5A in '98. Played for a state title in 2001. Hatfield, 13 years the coach, following Bill Derrick, the legendary Middle Tennessee coach. 102 wins in his tenure.
And Hatfield knows a little bit about this stadium.
Absolutely.
Played at Tennessee Tech.
Played linebacker here. His wife, a basketball star here, is in the school's Hall of Fame. On 3rd and 10, Brown going to throw it again. In trouble and just ripped down. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Shaq Mason.
Wow.
You see why he is a heavy-duty D1 prospect at 6'2", 307. His 17th quarterback sack of the year, loss of 8, and the Lions going to get that football back.
It would look like Mike, he was shot out of a cannon on this particular play as Brown trying to find an open receiver. And he almost was. He was just kind of hanging back, waiting to see the play develop. Comes around and says, okay, if you're going to stand back there, I'll sack you.
Bowerman's going to punt it. Ballou is deep. This is going to be returnable. Ballou from his 35. Good coverage so far, but a block picked up there. Late flag. Ballou is going to be run out of bounds by Gray. Nice hustling tackle by Gray. But this is going to be moved backward. Punt of 44 yards, return of 18, but not going to count. Larry, when they throw the flag at you, never a good thing.
No. Maybe one of the most common flags in all of football. I don't care what level you play.
You got to get your head in front, and that is very hard to do when you're peeling back to block. And you'll see right there.
We have an illegal block in the back on the return team. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
From the spot of the catch, so this moves the ball back to the 26-yard line. Columbia leading 7-0. If you're just joining us, Columbia getting a Markham to Ballou 59-yard pass, setting up a Tredarius Goff 2-yard run. Markham opens this time in the shotgun. Little rollout, and he's got it complete. Up to the 30-yard line. Not a big gain, but he completes that to number 12, and that's John Robinson, a senior. So Markham at 5'10", with really good feet. He can tuck it and run it, not afraid to do that. Gives him accuracy and athleticism, versatility.
Yeah, he'll run a little option. He can throw the football. He can do a lot of different things.
They made the move to him in week 9. On 2nd down, here comes Martin, just trapped in the backfield and just smashed. That's Dye. Had the big catch a moment ago at tight end. Loss of 1 on that play as he comes stunning in to make a big hit.
Almost looked like that he knew what play was coming because he was right there, stood his ground, and got around his blocker and made that play. Watch that.
Well, he did. He got rid of that guy to block him. That is great technique. Outside leverage. win the battle with the blocker, and then go get the guy.
Put that on the tape, right?
Absolutely. Columbia needs a timeout. 7:13 to go in the quarter. And Columbia facing a 3rd down and 8 yards to go. Been an interesting half so far as Bruce Hatfield's Commandos have tried to throw it a lot, and Columbia just going punch, counter punch as they like to do.
It's interesting because one of the coaches joked at the Monday media event that this game might be over by 8:30 because these two teams just like to run the football, but they haven't done that really.
Nope. There has been some excellent passing in this game. We've got a chance for this stoppage in play to remind you, TSSAA Network.com is your comprehensive source for the best in Tennessee high school sports. It features comprehensive live and on-demand coverage of a wide variety of events, including the championship games across numerous sports. TSSAA Network.com.
People bundled up here in Cookeville tonight, but the weather's better than it was last year. They had snow here last year for the high school championship.
Martin is the tailback. They stay in the eye. Markham. Going to look deep right side. Got a man. Ballou comes back, juggles the ball just slightly, pulls it in, and has his first down. That's a nice job by Eric, making sure of the catch, pulling it into the body, and doing the job. That's an excellent route and a really fine timing throw by Matthew Markham.
Nice route, and Austin Lamb, the cornerback, he got twisted and turned around and fell, and that's why he was so wide open on that particular play.
Another first down here at the 37-yard line for Columbia. They're going to give it inside. This is going to be Cisco with the carry. Let me correct myself there. That's Martin who had the carry, and he is taken down for a loss of 2. Excellent penetration by Hendersonville.
Martin, 5'10", 190. He's just a sophomore, but he rushed for over 1,000 yards this season.
Well, what's interesting about Columbia, they played for the 5A title last year, lost to Beach 47-33, lost 22 starters, or correction, 22 seniors, 13 starters. Most people didn't think they'd be back, but here they are. Markham in trouble, and this is not good. Taking him down is 81 Chad Dye, loss of 9. Chad Dye coming through to get Markham, who could not find his initial read, and he beat his man, did Chad Dye, and gets him down with help from 69 Cayman Russell.
Almost looked like a delayed blitz. He comes off the edge there and makes the play, and no outlet for the quarterback. Third and forever.
This is going to be 3rd down and long. Quick snap. There's a problem. Penalty marker down 2 as Markham running for his life, and Gray and Townsend, they take him down. Just not good any way you look at it. And it's going to be 4th down, so the punting unit going to have to come out for Columbia. That's a really nice stop. Chad Dye with the sack, and then the bad snap. Suddenly, Hendersonville going to get the football back, probably in good field position.
Yeah, should get it in field position. Looks like it almost surprised the quarterback in that particular one. Hit him right in the gut.
They threw the beanbag for a fumble. There was no flag, so punt team comes on 4th and very long. And Ballou, sideways kick. Adams has to get out of the way. This is going to work out well for Columbia. Going to down it at the 38-yard line. Punt of 34 with no return, but Hendersonville just under 5 minutes remaining in the half with a chance to get something going, and they need an answer right here.
You kind of feel like it's that point in a football game where if you're Hendersonville, you need to come down and answer. It's not as though Columbia has been overpowering to this point, but offensively, you kind of need to get in a rhythm, get a drive going, and get 7 on the scoreboard as we move toward the halftime break.
Brown missing his last couple passes. Getting back in a form of the wing T. They're going to run pretty, coming right. He finds a little bit of room as he crosses the 40 and gets up to the 41, gain of 2. They have not been able to get anything going running wide, and that's the speed of Columbia.
Yeah, that's Columbia's speed, and you know, it's a little bit surprising because I don't think we've seen quite as many variations of the wing T formations as you might have expected from Hendersonville in this game. A little more convention.
Yeah, very much so.
Here you go.
They've got a couple of fullbacks in there right now. On 2nd and 8, this is Moore. He's got some room just powering straight ahead. That's 5 yards.
And that's wing T.
That's wing T, but it's also north and south.
Yep.
And Hendersonville has 3rd down and 3 to go, as they'd love to mount a drive and also kind of eat up the rest of this first half clock.
So difficult when you're a defensive player and you're trying to figure out who's going to get the ball. You, on one hand, have to be patient. On the other hand, you got to just go for the football. Difficult to defend.
Brady Kelly with a really good block there ahead of Moore. On 3rd and 3. They're going to run big Moore again. Not this time. Taken down by Goff. He got to the 48, but it's going to be 4th down and what appears to be a long yard.
Yeah, he didn't get a really good spot.
Well,
it's going to be about a yard, right?
At least. Part of that is Goff hit him and stopped him right in his tracks. There was no falling forward. It's 4th and a full yard, and I think Hendersonville's going. Come to the point in the game, they think they've got to make a statement, and Columbia has a great chance to seize momentum if they can stop them. In the wing T, Hendersonville sees Columbia come across. Did he hard count him into an offsides?
Prior to the snap, we have encroachment on the defense. 5 yards, result in a 1st down.
Give that one to Hunter Brown.
Yeah, that he willed them into that one. And so they don't have to use a 4th down play. They get it with a hard count.
Still 2:46 remaining. Hendersonville, all 3 of their timeouts. Columbia with just 1. Brown's going to throw it. Looking, has a man open, pass intercepted. Ballou. And Ballou read that perfectly. His 5th interception of the year. And man, did he bait it. Looked like the receiver was open from up here. Looked like a big gain. And then Ballou just sliding in front to take it away.
Oh, that was a pretty play. You don't see a cornerback make a play much prettier than this. I mean, he's wide open. Look, nope, there's Ballou coming through to make the play. Change of possession, Columbia's ball.
Get a little kiss on the helmet there when you intercept one. Hey, you're playing for the state title. Why not?
Absolutely.
Back on offense. Columbia at the 42. Markham going to swing it out. Ooh. That's Cisco, who tried to catch it but was knocked down hard. Big pop there from 21, and that's Jeff Patton.
Yeah, I think Jeff Patton kind of read this one all the way. Just a quick screen out, lets the receiver have it.
Patton, a senior at 5'11", 185 pounds. 2nd and 10. Columbia probably wanting to be careful here. Love to make a drive and make something happen, but you don't want to make a mistake. Markham's going to throw it again. He's going to throw it deep. He's got Ballou there. Incomplete. Ballou trying to make sure where he was on the sideline. I think maybe just took his eye off of it for just a second.
You talk to receivers and they say that is one of the most difficult skills to develop, is to be able to look in the pass while at the same time finding your place on the field and getting your feet down. Well thrown ball. Ballou, yep. He turned around, looked to the sideline.
Yeah, the throw came over more of his left shoulder, and he was expecting it over his right shoulder. He just couldn't adjust. That's a tougher catch than it looks. 3rd and 10. Markham going to throw it again. He's in trouble. He pitches it forward. Ballou's going again. Ballou outrunning Gray. Ballou, big gain inside the 40-yard line, out of bounds at the 37. What a play by Markham.
Here's the question: was that play in the playbook, or was that a little playground action?
21 yards.
Wow.
Well, this is what Markham gives them: the athleticism, the versatility. We've seen him throw it deep. We've seen him throw slants, and here he's in trouble. He's going down. Townsend's going to take him to the ground, and he just says, you know what? Ballou will make the play.
That's playground, draw it up in the mud. Nice play.
He's got him moving again. Does Markham. Here he goes deep again. His man is there. Incomplete. Hall had his hands on it, but just couldn't quite bring it in.
Well, the scouting report on Markham coming into this game was that he will stretch the field, that he has the ability to do that, and we've seen it. I mean, he's got good arm strength, just a little too much on this particular football. That one looked like a touchdown.
Hall averaging 20 yards per catch. Ballou right at that mark as well. They are big play receivers, and you see Markham just 5 of 9, but 101 yards. That's good bang for your buck.
Yep.
This is 2nd and 10. Little sprint out, and Markham falls down. And now they're going to get Townsend for falling on him. Townsend landed right on his back and going to give you a 15-yard penalty.
Ball, personal foul, late hit on the defense. 15 yards, first down.
So instead of 3rd down and 17, it's going to be a first down. Markham slipping on the turf. Most of these young men have not spent much time on field turf. And in the 5 games we've seen so far, we've seen some slips. And many of the teams have gone to work at local colleges that have it, just trying to get used to it, but it's still not quite the same.
No, it's a much different feel to your feet, you know, and that it is hard in a very short period of time to get used to.
Penalty takes him to the 29. It's a dead ball foul. It's 3rd down and 2. Markham gonna throw it. Too high for Ballou. Would not be in field goal range for Harris, I wouldn't think. This would be a place you would go. A lot of options for Columbia because Markham can run it and throw it. They've got Ballou, they've got Hall. They've got Goff, who's going to come back into the game. For Hendersonville, with 100 seconds left in the half, they need a stop.
Here's the thing that's happening right now that is so impressive. Columbia just owning the line of scrimmage. It's very difficult for Hendersonville to get any penetration right now.
Goff and Price in the eye behind Markham. 4th down and 2. Option. Pitch. Here's Big Goff trying to turn the corner. Ball up in the air. It's caught. Hendersonville's got it. They stop Goff and get the fumble out of the air. Patton is the man who caught it. And Hendersonville has held a big moment for the Commandos.
Well, you don't see that very often. That ball, it actually popped way high in the air. Almost looked like an incomplete pass.
It sure did. But what a hit. As they play the option perfectly to the Commandos. And they've got people waiting. That's Dye, who had the sack earlier. Put your head on the ball, young man. That's how you do it.
Helmet to the ball comes out, and Hendersonville gets a key turnover.
And that's Goff. He's not exactly a fumbler.
I mean, heck, Columbia only turned it over 12 times so far this season. So,
all year.
Yeah.
Plus 20 in turnover ratio until that one. He was not going to make the first down anyway. So the Commandos trying to make something happen. They're going to run Gray up the middle. He bounces to the outside and has a decent gain of right at 5 yards. 2nd and 5.
Whit Gray averaging better than 7 yards per rush. 5'8", 200 pounds, senior.
He has a 60-plus yard run this season, too.
So he can run tough and lumber for the big run.
Maybe hit that trap up inside. He could pop one. Under a minute. Commandos not in a hurry. Gonna run Howe. Power sweep out of the wing tee. Got room. Got his first down and a lot more. Taken down from behind, and there's a penalty marker coming in late as Mason makes the tackle after the 16-yard gain. See what this penalty is.
Extracurricular, maybe?
Hendersonville saying it's on Columbia.
We have a 5-yard inadvertent face mask on the defense.
It's important because not only does it get them into Columbia territory, here's how. And the face mask is coming right there. Ooh, wow.
Hey,
Hello.
that might be a 25-yard.
He's down. They called the penalty. 43-yard line of the Lions, the Commandos. Clock running, 37 seconds. There's Jones with his 5th catch. A lot of room. He's down to the 30, and I think Hendersonville gets a timeout right here. Gain of 13. What a half for Nigel Jones.
And a great sign for Hendersonville, Mike, because on that last play, Jones kind of came up limping a little bit, but was able to shake it off and comes up with a big play that really sets up Hendersonville very nicely here with 28 seconds remaining.
Hendersonville, they've battled all year. 7-3 in the regular season, only a number 5 seed in the playoffs, and they have found ways to knock off big name opponents. Bruce Hatfield has a special group of young men.
Well, I think this group of young men have decided to come together. You know, earlier in the season, you know, we were 2-2 and not sure what direction that we were headed, and they just decided that they were going to come together, and they're a close-knit group now, and they've played hard for one another, so we're real proud of them.
They lost in Week 10 to Gallatin. They lost the district championship. And so what they got for that is they got to go back to Gallatin after losing 22-19. They went back the next week, first round of the playoffs, won by 20.
Went to Black Mountain in the offseason as a way to inspire the team. Black Mountain, North Carolina, for an inspirational trip, and they called on some of those things during that downtime.
Brown's looking deep. Instead, he's going to throw for Howell, and it's incomplete. Excellent coverage on the outside by McCaig. 24.5 seconds to go.
Thought for a second there he was going to Jones, who had come open in the end zone.
If Brown can get him a little closer, Sean Bowerman has made 6 field goals this year, including a 44-yarder. And this turf surface, very good to kick off of in trying field goals. Second and 10. Brown gonna roll it, gonna look, gonna fire deep, going for Dye in the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a hit, as getting to him was number 50, Jonathan Brayton.
Almost looked like that Brown in that situation thought that Dye was going to run a little corner route to the back of the end zone, and that's where he threw it. Hendersonville just barely got that play off. They had to rush up to the line of scrimmage to even get an attempt there as third down comes up.
18 seconds to go. Switching some personnel in and out. Good news for Hendersonville, they can use the whole field because they have 2 timeouts. So, Larry, if they want to throw it down the middle, they can.
2 on the play clock.
And they're going to have to use a timeout right here. They switched 4 different people, and that personnel change messed up their timing in the huddle. They're late. Still, they do have a timeout. 7-0, Columbia scoring earlier in this quarter on the golf run. One of the closer games we've had so far at the Blue Cross Bowls at Tucker Stadium here in Cookeville. Innsworth-Baylor certainly was a good game last night.
Wow, what a great game, and 3 more games tomorrow should be fun.
A special thanks to Blue Waters Rental for donating a scissor lift for our camera use in the end zone. When you rent from Blue Waters Equipment Rental, You'll find tools for indoor and outdoor projects, plus items for parties and special events. So thanks, Blue Waters Rental. Big third down upcoming. As a long conversation for the Commandos. And they're being called back out right now.
Are you almost in this situation installing a couple of plays, at least thinking about what you would do if you don't get the third down?
I think that's right. And maybe what you could do if you don't want to take the timeout. Brown under pressure, rolling left. He can run, a lot of room. He can make this first down. He does run out of bounds. Let's see where they'll spot it. They give him the 23. That's a gain of 7. Looked like he had gotten nearer the 20, but it's now fourth down. Actually, they give him the 22. So they're very much in Bowerman's range, gain of 8. And they're going to call on him here to take a shot.
Darius Goff was in hot pursuit of the quarterback on that particular play, but Brown did a nice job showing the speed to get to the sideline. Didn't get enough.
39-yard field goal attempt as Hatfield's going to let him try it. Bowerman 6 of 14 on the year. And Columbia will use their final timeout with 10.7 seconds to go. Does Hatfield take a second here since Columbia has given them a break, and does he think about going?
Yeah. The question is, how much confidence do you have in your kicker?
Well, he's got a lot.
Got a lot of confidence there, but B, Columbia called the timeout, so maybe you have a particular play that you feel like can get you the yards. You got 10 seconds, and you got an opportunity to run a couple of plays. But
low-scoring game. If you have confidence in Bowerman, do you take this shot and say, if we make it, it's 7-3, we might be able to win this game 10-7 or 17-14. Let's not give away points.
Well, they won 7-0 last week.
39-yarder. Howell is the holder. Remember, he's the backup quarterback. Columbia certainly knows that. Snap is high. They get it down. The kick is on the way. No good. Wide to the right. And so Columbia going to get the ball back for one more play. They get it to start the second half, so you figure probably take a knee here, and the Lions happy to go in at halftime leading by 7.
Hendersonville has made the plays. I mean, they've come up with the yardage in the first half. As we watch the field goal, he had the distance, just wide right.
I snapped through his timing off.
Yep.
His step just a little stuttered as he waited just a little. Hal does a really good job to get that ball down, but he just didn't strike it as well as he would have liked. As Markham takes a knee to end the first half. Now this is what we thought. Punch, counter punch, Columbia in front, but nothing decided as the Lions lead the Commandos at halftime 7-0.
Well, if you are Columbia, you feel good about what you've done here in the first half. They admitted that last year when they played in the state championship, that nerves got the best of them. They drove up to the stadium here and they saw the stands full and everybody kind of fell silent. They thought that they would be more comfortable playing in this situation, and obviously they have been in the first half.
We head to the sidelines. Jonathan Hutt.
Coach Vance Ballou on the sidelines, a defensive battle in the first half. What do you tell your team at halftime?
Well, we got to go in and convince them that we've got to win the second half. 7-point lead, so we just got to concentrate on doing the same things in the second half. Turnovers going to be key. We've got to play well on special teams and win some physical battles up front too.
Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Guys?
Vance Ballou, a graduate of Columbia Central, is trying to bring his team their first state championship in 58 years, and he'd like to do it for many reasons. One is to honor Dylan Rebor, the young football player at Columbia who passed away earlier today after a battle with cancer. They're honoring his family on the field right now. 25 was his number, and he has been an inspiration to everybody associated with Columbia Lions football.
Through a family friend, his mother said that Dylan asked
for his spirit
about 5 minutes before he died, did we win? And she told him, yes, honey,
moment of silence in
we did.
Of Dylan. Thank you. A framed, personalized TSSAA championship poster has been created in Dylan's name. Presenting the poster to Dylan's family, who are here tonight: Heather Rebor, his mother; T.J. Brown, his stepfather; Kelsey Rebor, his sister; and his father, David Rebor. Bernard Childress, TSSAA Executive Director; Bob Luna, President of the Putnam County Chamber of Commerce; Bob Bell, President of Tennessee Tech University; Roger White, Columbia Central High School Athletic Director; Vince Springer, Columbia Central High School Principal. Also, the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Middle Tennessee and Dylan Rebor would like to present the Lions with his wish. Dylan could have wished for anything, but his wish was to give back to his teammates by providing helmets and pads for the entire Lions team. Fight like Rebor. Bigger, faster, stronger. TSSAA football fans, please join us in applause as we pay tribute to Columbia Central High School's number 25, Dylan Rebor.
Sometimes it's just bigger than the game.
It's halftime here in Cookeville. Columbia leading Hendersonville in our 5A state title game 7-0 on the field. I'm Jonathan Hutton with the principal for Columbia, Vince Springer. And Vince, a very emotional day for the high school, for this football team, as Dylan Rebor lost a battle with cancer.
Yes, sir. It has. It's been a tough day. All year long, the kids have been behind him, and he supported them. And so it's something that's been going on. It's an emotional thing. We've been all over the place today with the excitement of playing in the state championship and Dylan passing away this morning. But this group of students, they've all come together, and it's been an amazing thing to watch.
He's been a motivating factor, not just for tonight, but throughout the season.
He has, and the kids have supported him and his family. His mother's been around. He's been to the games. He's always wanting to be there, and it's been amazing. You know, Dylan's focus all the time has been on the team and helping the team out and what he could do, and still wanted to be a part of it. So it's been a great thing to see.
Your first year as principal at Columbia, how's it gone?
It's gone great. There's been a lot of things to go on. I'm very fortunate to be here tonight, to come in the first year and be at the state championship game, but this football team and the coaching staff is probably one of the best I've ever been around. The character of the players is amazing, and I can't say enough good things about them.
Good luck in the second half.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's the principal for Columbia, Vince Springer, and we have a defensive battle coming up. 7-0 Columbia over Hendersonville at the half. 7-0 Columbia at the half. Second half kickoff coming up. Joni Worsham is the principal for Hendersonville High School, and a very exciting game. This has been the closest game of the day so far.
Yeah, it is very exciting. We hope we come out fired up the second half and do some good things.
A very emotional time for you. Your son is in Iraq. He was in the 1998 state title team that came to the state title. A lot of emotions for you, I'm sure.
Yes, and Coach Hatfield, who is the current coach, was also his coach, and my son Daniel got to experience the first 27 wins that Coach Hatfield had, and he just had his 100th win a couple of weeks ago. So we're real excited and excited for our community and the kids. The whole thing is great, and Cookville's been great too. So.
Well, I can tell you, speaking on behalf of everyone, we appreciate his service. A very excited crowd. Over 2,000 tickets sold today alone.
That is correct. We sold 2,000 tickets actually this week. So we're just, they were shocked when we brought the check for the tickets up here tonight. I think everybody was shocked that we had sold that many tickets. But you can tell by looking over there, we did.
Joni, good luck to your team in the second half.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's Joni Worsham, the principal for Hendersonville High School, where at the half, it's the Commandos trailing the Lions 7-0.
Thanks very much, Jonathan Nutt, Mike Keith, and Larry Stone back in the booth here at Tucker Stadium. The 5A Blue Cross Blue Shield Bowl, about exactly what we thought in terms of score, but when we look at the statistics, not exactly what we thought in terms of the type of game, Larry Stone.
No, Mike, if you'd said 225 to 85 would be the total yardage, you might have said, okay, these two teams would rush for 225 running the football. But no, they've passed the ball for 225. They've run the ball for 80. It's not what we expected, but sometimes you see that in championship games where guys say, we're going to pull out the stops and try to win this football game.
Hendersonville got off to a very good start in the pass game as Hunter Brown is able to make things happen. First play of the game, there's Nigel Jones, 42 yards to set him up with what looks to be a good drive, but the drive stalls. And here come the Columbia Lions running with Chris Martin, trying to get some things started there. After a completion to Eric Ballou of 51 yards, Tredarius Goff punches it in on the Wildcat-type direct snap, and Columbia has the 7-0 lead early in the second quarter. That would be all of the points because Bowerman's 39-yard field goal right at the end of the half, wide right. And so here we are. And again, let's look at what Larry's talking about. Scan down to pass yards. 101 for Columbia, 124 for Hendersonville. That combines for 225 yards. And these two teams that love to run the ball, 42 for Columbia, 41 for Hendersonville. That's amazing. That's not what we expected. Each team doing a pretty good job taking care of the football. Just one turnover. Time of possession pretty equal. Penalties equal. The difference right now, Larry, is that Columbia had a shot to make it happen. They scored. Hendersonville had a couple of shots, but they were unable to push any points across.
That's really been the story of this first half, Mike, is that both of these teams have made some plays. It's just been paying off with them. The other thing that stood out about the stats you just showed is the time of possession, because Hendersonville controlled the first quarter, Columbia controlled the second quarter of this game.
Well, both teams comfortable with their position. Remember, Columbia won a 7-0 game last week over Knoxville West. Hendersonville, they've been behind before. They know how to come from behind if they have to, and if they're going to win the 5A state championship, they'll have to. Right now, back to the field, Jonathan Hutton.
The executive director of the TSSAA is Bernard Childress. And Bernard, for the second year in a row, the city of Cookeville has done a great job as the host for the state title games.
Yes, Jonathan, we're very proud, very pleased with the job that they've done. We couldn't be more excited to be here. The field's immaculate, and everyone, it seems that the city of Cookeville has just gone out of their way to make this very special for our student athletes. And to us, that's what it's all about, to make lifelong memories for our kids. And they have gone overboard to make that happen. So we're very pleased to be here.
The good news is it's not as cold as last year, and that means a great turnout for two mid-state teams playing tonight.
Oh, that's probably if it was even 10 degrees cooler, they would still be here. But it's this fantastic crowd, probably the biggest crowd we've had in quite some time. And the weather has held up. I know they're calling for a little rain tomorrow. Hopefully we won't have any because we had 3 other games tomorrow. But it has been beautiful weather, beautiful football weather. And we've had some outstanding games so far. And starting yesterday with our Division II championships, and just congratulate those teams. We had Knoxville Webb, who won the A championship, and Innsworth actually won the AA. So I wanted to congratulate those teams and those coaches also. And of course today we've had 2 games with South Pittsburgh winning championship along with Alcoa, and now we're at halftime with 7-0. But it's just been a great turnout, and this is a great atmosphere for our high school championships.
I want to remind fans you can go to TSSAA and see on-demand highlights, and you can also purchase DVDs of this game.
One of the best things that we feel like we've done in a long time is the establishment of our network to give our fans and give the kids an opportunity to go to our website, like you said, and not only purchase DVDs, but watch those contests in all of our sports. Now we have a network that we are able to highlight our kids in sports that we've never been able to do so before, and we're just proud that we have partnered with Play On Sports and the public television networks to make this happen.
Bernard, doing a great job as the executive director, and many years to come in that post.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. It's everyone says, well, we know you have a tough job. It's tough, but it's a lot of fun, especially when you can come and watch kids compete and have a great time competing. And to us, that's what it's all about, is creating memories for these kids and developing lifelong memories and citizens that will be successful in society.
That's Bernard Children, the executive director of the TSSAA, as halftime getting set to kick off the 3rd quarter, where Hendersonville trails Columbia 7-0.
The Lions back out on the field warming up, and here come the Commandos back to work. We've got 24 minutes of football for the 5A state championship, the Blue Cross Bowl. Lions and Commandos ready to resume after this. $7-0, Columbia leading Hendersonville, and the Lions are going to get the football to start the second half. First series, always very important. If Columbia goes and gets points right here, big momentum swing. Hendersonville gets a 3 and out. They would figure to get good field position. Got to have it.
I'm interested to see kind of what approach the 2 coaches take. As we mentioned, you expect both of these teams to run the ball, but in the first half they were willing to throw the football. So do they stay with that approach as we begin the 3rd quarter or not?
Let's go down to Jonathan Hutton.
What'd you tell your the half?
Well, I told them we got to establish some kind of running game. We knew Columbia had a great defense, but we got to try to run the football a little bit, shore up some things on defense, and snap the ball better. So things will be all right.
Good luck to you in the second half.
Thank you.
As Coach Bruce Hatfield, as Columbia leads Hendersonville 7-0.
He's built a consistent winner at Hendersonville, and he's just trying to knock down the door and bring home that state championship.
Twice a bridesmaid. 1998 they lose to Oakland. 2001 they lose to Riverdale. Can it be the charm tonight?
But another Middle Tennessee team, Columbia, in front of them right now. Ballou is drifting deep, and he had a really good first half. He caught 3 passes for 81 yards, did Ballou, including a 51-yarder that set up the touchdown. He also had a pass interception. Right now, he would have to be a strong candidate for the most valuable player.
He does it all. He's a dynamic playmaker. You can see why the coaches are really excited about him.
Cisco is also deep as Bowerman gets ready to kick off. Turned a little more chilly here as the second half begins at Tucker Stadium. But still, a good night for championship football. Ballou comes up outside his 10. looking for room, appears to be trapped, breaks the tackle, turns the corner, and finally run out of bounds outside the 30. Excellent field position for the Lions. 21-yard return. Markham, 5 of 10 for 101 passing. And he's going to bring his team back out. They want to do more, if possible, in the run game. Martin, 6 carries, 29 yards. Goff, 6 for 28 and a touchdown. But Markham, the sophomore, made him go. I think they're going to come out shotgun 3 wide receivers. That's what they're going to do. Markham giving them a different look to begin. Going to quick screen it. Here's Ballou. Drop the ball. It's a fumble. It's been picked up. And now Townsend's got it, breaking a tackle. Will he go in for a touchdown? Let's wait for a signal. No signal. I think they're calling him down, or are they?
Well, one official here on the left side by signal touchdown. The others did not.
So it's a touchdown on a fumble recovery as Townsend is able to take it in the end zone.
All right, let's watch the replay here.
They throw it out to Ballou. He never has it, but it's ruled a fumble. Patton tries to come up with it. He cannot. It's picked up by Bozeman. Bozeman running forward, being taken down, is going to pitch it back to Townsend, and he takes it in for the touchdown. Bowerman to tie with an extra point. We've got a tie ball game. Just 19 seconds into the third quarter. Unusual play and a big break for Hendersonville.
I'm wondering, did the official think this was a backward pass? But well, he never had control.
That may be. I did not see a signal on that, but that's an interesting point and a good job by Bozeman to flip it to Big Townsend, the 285-pound tackle, who takes it to the house.
Right,
from the side. No, that's a forward pass.
Forward.
He never had it. But credit Hendersonville for being alert. That's what you're taught. And the official from the outside signaled immediately. Fumble. He threw the beanbag.
The other question that you have is, did Townsend step out of bounds on the run back?
Looked like he might have. Nonetheless, in big games, you have to take advantage when you get a break, and you have to overcome adversity. For Columbia, they've got to bounce back. Hendersonville has life from that play. Big momentum. As Bowerman to kick off again, he hits this well. Ballou from the 6. Looking to make a big play, will turn it up the sidelines and get outside the 25. So we've got a tie ball game.
I think this is where you like the experience that Columbia brings into this game. If it had flipped the other way and this was Hendersonville's first trip here for these young men, then maybe you start to say, oh, okay, you get a little tentative. But Columbia's been here. They played tough opponents. Okay, you know what? We turned it over. We gave up a score. Let's just go right back at it.
They were very relaxed all week based on the fact that they played in the 5A Blue Cross Bowl a year ago against Beach. And they'll have to keep their poise right here. Markham back under center. This is going to be Martin's 7th carry. 3, maybe 4 yards. It'll be second down. If you're Vance Ballou, the head coach of Columbia, you're probably thinking, let's do some things to keep it under control. We did a good job in the first half. We've just gotten a bad break. We had them return a fumble for a touchdown. Let's get back to doing what Columbia does. They run for 203 a game. Let's run it.
And let's stay on schedule. Let's get manageable third down, something that they were not able to get a lot of in the first half.
On second down, Markham's going to throw it. He's going downfield. Hall trying to get there. He's got it. He's going to go in for a touchdown. Hall's 7th of the year. 68 yards, they'll call it, as they made the play they had to make going down the field, and Hall goes and gets the football for his quarterback, Markham.
That's individual effort, Mike, because Hall just outfought Hal for that football and came up with the play. I mean, the defender was in great position, had great technique. Hall just stole that football from him.
Snap is high. Extra point by Harris is up, and it's good.
Wow.
So 51 seconds later, an answer. We played 24 minutes and had 7 points. And right now, we've played 70 seconds of the second half and had 14 points. A 2-play, 72-yard drive. Again, just 51 seconds off the clock. Advance Ballou knows that his team responded.
They did, and they did it with a great pass by their quarterback, great fake there, launches the ball, pretty pass, and again, watch the receiver here. He just goes up, makes that play. I mean, defender was in a good position.
That's right.
The receiver gets the credit there.
Yeah, Hal did a good job. That's what you're supposed to do, is go up and compete for the ball, not interfere. He plays it well. It's just Hall able to do it a little bit better as he brings it home for the touchdown.
So he's going to come right at you. And he timed his jump well. That's the other thing.
Perfect concentration. A lot of times a receiver won't catch that because that defender, Hal, flashing in front of him, takes his eye off of it, caught it with his hands, and took it in. You want the real good news? Not only a touchdown in a state championship game, that was sophomore to sophomore.
Ooh, might see that one again.
You might see that again. Might see it back here in Cookeville. Harris to kick off. Rogers and Jones deep. Going to be Jones again. Looking to make something happen. He's able to get back to the 20-yard line. And he's taken down there by Matheny, a senior. Ashton Matheny. TSSAA brings you the best in Tennessee high school sports coverage. You can watch a live stream of each Blue Cross Bowl game as it happens, or go back and watch them on demand. The site also features complete coverage of state championships in a range of sports from volleyball to basketball to baseball. TSSAA to check out all the action. Here they go. Pretty on the power sweep going right. He is cut down on an excellent tackle by Goff. Gain of 1. Looked like he was going to get a lot more.
Columbia's doing a nice job of stringing these run plays out toward the sideline so that their defenders have a chance to come in and stop plays. Some of these, Mike, have looked like they were going to go for big gains, and Columbia's done a nice job.
Second down and long. Bozeman going to come in with a play from the sideline. Hendersonville in the first half did not have a lot going on in the running game. 17 carries for 41 yards. They moved their power to the right, and there's a penalty marker. I think this may be delayed.
On the offense.
Hendersonville takes a timeout prior to the penalty. So 14-7, Columbia Central in front of Hendersonville. Still very early in the third quarter. And if you went away for a little while and you're just coming back, you're like, wait a minute, wasn't it just 7-0? 2 quick touchdowns to begin. A fumble return for a score. Joe Townsend getting into the end zone tied it for Hendersonville, but Columbia came right back. 68 yards, Matthew Markham to wide receiver Dre Hall, and it's 14-7. Columbia looking to pull out a state championship. Hendersonville looking to do the same. You mentioned Hendersonville played for a couple of 5A state titles. Their playoff record is 23-10. They have been in the state playoffs 11 times, and they have advanced a lot. They have been very competitive. So they have a lot of history and a lot of tradition in Commando football in the postseason. On second down, they're going to run pretty again. Makes one man miss. That's a good gain. Right at about 5 yards to the 27, so 3rd and 3 upcoming.
Hendersonville coaches talking about some tempo. They had some issues there to close the first half with getting the play called, getting to the line of scrimmage quickly. You can see the Hendersonville coaches saying, let's go, move it in, let's get a play call. Important 3rd down.
Hunter Brown, 9 of 14 passing in the first half for 124 yards with an interception. Missed his last 5. They're going to run pretty again. He's got the first down. So, not surprising. Hendersonville says we're a wing T team. This is what we do, and we're going to do it.
It's almost like you take your best shot. You game plan some things and you install them. If they work, you stay with them. If not, let's get back to who we are as a football team, and that's what Hendersonville is.
3 runs for Pretty, producing 12 yards and a first down. Brown going to line him up in a variation of the wing tee. They're going to move the big tight end die over to the right. Now Brown's going to throw it. Fires downfield. The ball is caught. Cant with the catch. And he is across the 45-yard line, his 7th grab of the year. That's Connor Cant. And he's got a first down with a 13-yard gain. Good throw.
Good throw and a good job by the receiver just to kind of settle down there and wait for that throw. Delivers it nicely on the play fake. Watch the receiver. Just kind of waits for the football, doesn't worry about the hit, brings it into his body, completion, first down.
Goff got him down after Ballou got the first shot. Back in the wing tee. Going to run wide. This is Adams. He's got some speed. Oh, and there's Goff.
How about a ride on the Goff Railroad?
Oh. You don't think they're going to rewind this in the film session, do you?
Goodness gracious.
Oh, they love that. Click that again, Coach.
Boom.
He turned that corner. Got 3 yards. Looking good. Whoops. That's a big man right there.
It's a power slam.
Yeah, buddy. 2nd and 7. Pretty hands it back. Here's Adams looking for room, looking inside, and he's going to be taken down for a 2-yard loss. Goff is the one who caused that as he came through to turn the play back in.
Nice job by Columbia, too, to just kind of to stay at home. So many times with plays like that, you see guys overrun it. They get too aggressive. Columbia just stayed back and kind of let it happen. And you're right, Goff read it well.
3rd down and right at 10. Almost to the midway point of the 3rd quarter. Straight wing tee. Brown going to throw out of that formation. It's breaking down, and he's sacked. Goff. That's 9 of them. Loss of 6. And Goff picking his spot perfectly, Larry, and just cutting the pins out from under Brown with the pressure.
Well, he did a nice job of knifing through there along that offensive line. He gets in between Kelly and Russell, gets in there and makes a great play.
Bowerman to punt. It's a low kick. Ballou going to let it bounce. It goes sideways, and it's grabbed by the Commandos. Andrew Payton, a sophomore, who'll down it just outside the 31-yard line. It's a 30-yard punt. So Columbia has to feel good about where they are right now, leading by 7 midway through the 3rd. Good stop after Hendersonville got a couple of first downs. And now they've got a chance to take command of this game.
And you wonder, do they take command of this game by really starting to pound the football? Remember, this is a team that averaged better than 203 yards per game rushing.
Martin is the tailback. He's going to run left. He's hemmed in, but makes a couple guys miss and gets nearly 4 yards. Martin, the speed guy, Goff, the power guy. I bet we're going to see a big dose of the two of them now with this team in the second half, in the lead, maybe leaning on that size that they have up front.
Yeah, and basically saying, Hendersonville, if you want a state championship, stop our run game.
Call it 2nd and 6. As Martin's got a lot of room up the middle. Here he goes, regains his balance, turns on the Jets, and he's going to be taken down by Jones on a touchdown-saving tackle at the 26. 41-yard run for Martin, who himself had over 1,000 yards this season.
Well,
speed and power.
Speed and power makes a nice cut. The offensive line, not only is it big, Mike, but this is a senior-laden group too, and so they know how to play together, and they're doing a nice job handing people off and getting those openings for their tailbacks.
Goff now in at tailback. He's going to get it. Going left, he finds some room, and he's finally cut down by Pretty at the 16-yard line. Should be another first down. Left tackle Mason, 307. Left guard Hughes, 300. Center Braden, 242. Owens, right guard, 258. Gaines, right tackle, 260. Harvey, the tight end, 200. The fullback Price, 244. And Price really got a block on that one. Watch 15. He gets a man. The center Braden turns his man. The tight end Harvey walls him off. And Goff doesn't need much space.
And Owens blocks a guy down on his knees. They do a nice job.
First down. He needed 10, he got exactly 10.
I don't care what level of football it is. A veteran offensive line, that's a coach's dream.
Absolutely. Well, that's 4 seniors and the sophomore Owens. How good must 56 be if he's a starter in there with the 4 seniors? They're moving the guards around. They've actually flipped Hughes now to the right side. They offset the eye that way. They run it back to the left, and there's Goff. He may go in. He does. Touchdown, Lions. Second of the night for Tadarius Goff, a 16-yard run. And all of a sudden, the purple and gold starting to feel it could be their night on what could be their year.
It's a tired cliche, but that's an impose your will drive. I mean, Columbia said, we are going to run the football and you stop us. They did a nice job.
Harris for point. His kick is up and his kick is good. So after Hendersonville tied the game just 19 seconds into the second half, Columbia has come back, a long touchdown pass, and then a 4-play drive sparked by Martin's 41-yard run, but it was running. Martin, then Goff, and this is carry number 4. Look at the block. Hughes getting one in there, and then Goff turning the shoulders and making it happen. Look at Hughes' 78 pull, taking the man out, and then Goff heading to pay dirt.
Yeah, this is just pretty execution right here. Watch 78 pull. Maybe a little hands to the face there, but it's all. Nobody saw it.
Rogers drifting deep with Jones to catch this kickoff as Goff, 8 carries, 54 yards. Tradarius Goff, and he's played great at linebacker as well. A quarterback sack in this third quarter.
Well, now if you're Hendersonville, you've got to find something offensively. It's not panic mode. There's still plenty of time left in this football game, but you really need a score here.
A kick return wouldn't be a bad way to do it.
That's an easy.
Jones lets it go into the end zone, and of course in high school football, if it crosses the goal line, it's an automatic touchback. So maybe a missed opportunity for the Commandos. And now Brown and the offense on their way back out. They've got to go 80 yards.
Maybe this shouldn't surprise us, Mike, because if you look back over the course of this season, Columbia has done its most damage in the third quarter, outscoring opponents 120-23. So obviously the halftime adjustments work for the Lions.
Going to give it to Gray going up the middle. Here's that trap. Here he comes. Gray got a first down, got more. Taken down at the 37. That's 17 yards for Whit Gray. Hendersonville's not going to go quietly, Larry.
No, they're not, and that's just great vision by the running back. He runs low to the ground, and it's like he's searching for an open tunnel. He bounced off one guy, bounced off another. Take a look at this run.
They trap him right in there, and that's what you get.
Right, left.
Two guys on golf, by the way.
Yeah, nice run play.
Brown rolling, looking, going to screen it back. Here's Pretty with a lot of room. Pretty puts on a move to midfield, and he's finally taken down by Harvey inside the 45 at the 43. 20 yards. David Pretty on a well-executed screen.
Well-executed screen, but you almost had the feeling that he was standing there saying, hurry, get the ball here. I'm ready to run. Esseff did a nice job out in front, kind of walling off the defender, allowing him to come up with yardage on that.
And big Joe Townsend out there too. Here's Moore, the big fullback, and Moore's got a nice game. Banging off right guard, 9 yards down to the 35. This is a great drive by Hendersonville as we get ready to hit the 4-minute mark in the third quarter.
And they're doing it with what Hendersonville football has been this year. See if that continues here. Get this first down, keep the drive alive, just keep moving.
Staying in the wing tee, single receiver can't. Lower part there. As they give it to Moore, who's pushed forward by a teammate, and I think probably has the first down. I don't know, that may have been Russell, who may have just slid him forward just a little bit, but the sticks move, and the Commandos continue on. At the 33 of the Lions. Somebody said on Monday at press day, in talking about this matchup, you're going to like both of these football teams. Very well put.
Yeah, and a well-played game.
Inside, here's Gray. Look at him go. First down and more, breaking tackles, cutting inside the 15. Whit Gray. 19-yard run for Gray as they hit the quick trap again. Look at the trap blocks.
Nice blocks by the offensive line. The other thing is that he's a hard guy to get down. It's not as much that Columbia didn't make the tackle. It's just this guy is not going down. He's a powerful runner.
13-yard line. Howell and Pretty. This is Howell. Power sweep to the right, turns the corner to the 10, ducks his head, and is taken down by Cisco with help from Harvey. And they're going to put the football down about the 8. It's a gain of 5. They go to the quick guy, and that's Howell. Pretty getting out in front of him, and Gray getting an excellent block as that corner is turned. They continue to get good gains on first down to the Commandos. 2nd and 5. Here they go again. They go to Gray. He's knocked forward just short of the 5-yard line. Gain of about 2.5. Going to bring up 3rd down. 5 to go for a touchdown. 2 to go for a first down.
The other thing that's happened in this drive is for the really first time tonight, Mike, Hendersonville's offensive line has kind of imposed their will on Columbia's defense. Remember, the wing tee is a very difficult scheme for offensive linemen in terms of blocking. Hendersonville's doing a nice job blowing them out on the offensive line.
On 3rd and 2, Brown looks like he's going to throw it. He's in trouble. He is sacked back outside the 20-yard line. And that's a big play by Harvey. Loss of 17 yards. John Harvey, just a junior, as Brown knew he was in trouble when the first look wasn't there. And he gave ground to Harvey, just kept pursuing. On the last play, Harvey, even though blocked, went and ran down Howell after a 5-yard gain. He shows that same kind of tenacity on that pass rush, Larry.
Brown thought about throwing it away, but there was a Columbia defender in possible mode to intercept that football.
This is 4th and 18. Brown going to fire it into the end zone. Man is there. It's incomplete. Batted away at the very last minute. Ryan Rogers was trying to catch it, but it wasn't going to happen because Hayden Tate, who moved into the secondary full time when he lost his job as the starting quarterback, has just made a huge play in the last minute of the third quarter.
Well, you just see the impact of negative plays, and Hendersonville doing such a nice job moving the football down the field, and kind of one negative play gets you off schedule, and you end up facing a 4th and 18 situation.
Hendersonville has to really rise up here emotionally. You know they've got to be disappointed. Columbia coming back with Martin. And he stopped at the 26-yard line, gain of 4.
Yeah, it's so deflating for a football team when you have moved the ball as successfully as Hendersonville did on that drive, and then you're not able to get any points. But that's where your leaders have to step forward. And this defense, you know, they know in the back of their minds that now it's time for them to step up and make some kind of game-changing play.
Markham on 2nd down. Gonna give it to Martin. Finds room. He's got the first down.
What a tackle.
Looked like he was gone for a minute, but he is taken down after picking up 9 yards. Good patience by the youngster, Chris Martin. Watch him wait, Larry. Waits for Price, his fullback. Waits for Harvey, his tight end. And then he breaks that tackle to get on through. Dye finally getting him down, but not before the first down.
Give credit to Dye too, Mike, because that one looked like it could go further.
I thought it was going to. They come with Martin to the left side, and he is taken down after he picks up 13 on the final play of the third quarter. 12 minutes remaining in the 5A. Blue Cross Bowl from Tennessee Tech University. Columbia trying to become state champions for the first time in 58 years. Advanced Ballou trying to rally his troops for one more quarter. The Lions lead the Commandos 21-7. To purchase a copy of this game or any of the Blue Cross Bowl championship games, go to TSSAA.network.com and look for the green Buy Now button. Log on today and take home a memory that will last a lifetime. Columbia leading 21-7, running that football again. Here's Martin, breaking tackles inside the 40. Martin picks up 14, make that 15 yards on the play. 13 carries for 118 for this youngster, Chris Martin, just a sophomore.
Take a look at this run play. 3, 4, 5 broken tackles, but the patience and the power with which he runs is really impressive. And the other thing that he has a great ability to do, Mike, is to keep his balance when somebody grabs at his feet.
Carry number 14 for Martin, not going to be as dramatic. Taken down basically at the line of scrimmage. You stare at the stats through 3. What stands out?
Well, 25 rushes, 142 for Columbia. So you look at what they did in the second half, 100 yards rushing in the third quarter for Columbia.
More like what they normally do.
No doubt. And the other thing that stands out, Mike, Columbia 2 of 2 in red zone opportunities. Hendersonville 0 of 2.
Columbia by 14, looking for more. 2nd down and 10. Markham takes a low snap. In trouble, just going to run it up the middle and get a couple yards. That is really a smart play by the youngster as he picks up a couple. We look at the overall third quarter stats, and there you see it. The Lions with 142 rushing, 169 passing. They're up to 311. through 3 quarters. The Commandos just 243.
You said it, Mike. Smart play, and so many times you see a quarterback try to make something out of nothing. There was nothing there. Just take the few yards.
Markham going to throw on 3rd and 9. Firing right side. There's Ballou. Nice catch by Ballou, but what great timing by Markham. It's a 14-yard gain. And Ballou is just a junior.
Well, and here's the thing. When you are able to run it, as Columbia has been able to run it here in the second half, suddenly those opportunities on the outside become available to you.
Well, because you have to do whatever you can to stop the run. You got to sell out. Here's Big Golf. He's inside the 20. Gains 5 yards on the play. And starting to eat that clock. It is becoming Columbia's friend. 21-7 Columbia in front, inside 10 minutes remaining. Goff is the pounder, 466 rushing yards in the first 4 playoff games. He had almost as many yards in the playoffs as he did in the regular season. Once they got into crunch time, they started feeding number 30.
That's a team who knows what they are.
That's right. Here he comes again. To the 10, to the 5. Is he getting in again? That's 3 for Darius Goff. 18 yards. And all of a sudden, a 7-7 game has now become a 27-7 contest.
Well, this is, you begin to see
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 guys get their hands on it.
And this is, I think, the emotional toll as the extra point is up and through. This is where the toll kind of gets you if you're Hendersonville. You're getting pounded with the run game, play after play, and it's just hard. There's just no other way to put it. That's hard.
We said it in your pregame keys. If you're Hendersonville, you got to get them on the ground because Darius Goff and Chris Martin, both good after initial contact. That drive, a 9-play, 79-yarder, most of it on the ground. Let's take another look at the 3rd rushing touchdown for Goff. 6 Commandos get a hand on him, and nobody able to get him to the ground.
I just like the way he runs and keeps his feet underneath him. The guy's pulling at his legs, reaching for his feet, and he just does an amazing job of staying upright.
28 rushing touchdowns last year, now 27 rushing touchdowns this season, 3 of them tonight on 10 carries. So we said earlier, he was averaging a touchdown rush for every 5 carries. Tonight, 1 touchdown in every 3 carries. That's good.
Yeah. Well, this is a very powerful offense, and if it turns out that Columbia wins the state championship tonight, it will be because they did some things early, throwing the football, and then they got back to their bread and butter, which is running it.
Harris to kickoff. Bounces in between Jones and Rogers. Rogers now has it. Rogers staying on his feet, trying to make something happen. He gets outside to the 20-yard line. He's taken down by Matheny. So now, if you're the Commandos, 9:21 to go, you're down 21. You got to start throwing it, don't you?
You got to start throwing it. You got to make smart plays. What you don't want to do is take chances, and that's the thing that sometimes gets quarterbacks. You believe, though, with Hunter Brown, a junior who's been through it, that he's not going to take silly chances.
Gives it up the middle to Moore, and Moore has positive yardage outside the 25, 5-yard gain. Hendersonville had some good running in the 3rd quarter, but failing to score when they had 3rd and 2 at the 5, taking a 16-yard sack. And then the incomplete pass in the end zone, followed immediately by the Columbia touchdown drive. Just kind of backbreaking.
Yeah,
Here's Adams. He's got some speed. He spins away from one man and is able to get near his first down outside the 30. Don't think he has it. Good effort there. Officially a 4-yard gain.
Probably haven't talked enough, Mike, about the Columbia defense. This is a group that loves to put pressure on you. They're very sound defensively. And that sack you mentioned, part of the reason for that is that Columbia, I mean, they just bring it play after play after play.
Like it waves.
Yes.
3rd and 1 upcoming. Brown going to give it to Gray, the fullback, and he's got the first down to the 32. The only problem for the Commandos, they don't have a lot of time. 3-play first down's not going to work as we're under 8 minutes. Clock momentarily stopped. Really put down in the hole. As here's Gray looking to make something happen, and there is Goff.
Goff again. He's certainly making a play for MVP honors.
I don't think anybody from Columbia would be upset if he wins those honors. Could he be offensive and defensive? Brown going to throw it as he rolls out to his left. Fires downfield, tries to make a sliding catch, just can't come up with it. 2nd and 10 upcoming. Well, Columbia losing 22 seniors off the state runner-up team a year ago. And the coaching staff says, well, we're going to take a step back. And then they scrimmage Innsworth in summer camp, and they do well. And the coaches went, hey. And then they go down and play Lawrence County, and the defense plays like we're seeing tonight. And they said, you know what? We might be a little better than we thought. They lose to Tullahoma. Disappointing fashion. They finished the regular season 8-2, and now here they are. Throw in the flat. Pass is complete to Adams. Gain of about 6 yards. It'll be 3rd down.
What that tells you is how impressive the rebuilding job is Columbia. If you missed our discussion earlier, I mean, this is a team, a school that had been to 2 playoffs, 1977 and 1997. And then this coaching staff comes in here and installs their philosophy, and Columbia has been a consistent team. When you talk about losing that many starters and your starting quarterback, and here you are in the state championship game.
They lost their whole passing game. Bryant Ballou, their excellent receiver, graduated. As they go to Moore, and he's up the middle, near his first down to the 43.
Let's see where they spot that.
They're going to have to measure, stopping the clock with 6:34 remaining. Not going to have to measure, it's a first down. Well, these 16 seniors, most of them started playing together in the Columbia Bulldog Pee Wee League. They won a Little League state championship in baseball. Didn't lose much when they were at Whitthorne Middle. So when they heard rebuilding job, they said, no.
No, not around here.
Timeout, Hendersonville. 6:14 remaining.
Sorry, Mike. The thing you love is how the whole community in Columbia, there's some serious sports fans in Murray County, and the whole community has just embraced this football team. The tragedy, obviously, another factor in this, but you pull all of those things together, and sometimes it's just your year. It's just your time.
Well, they thought it was last year. They lost only one game, and that was an upset loss. They were 13-1, and they came in to play Beach, another team from Sumner County, and they lose in a shootout 47-33, and it stung. And they spent the whole offseason thinking about it. Can we get back? Penalty markers down. Remind you, we'll start back tomorrow at noon Central Time. Class AA, and it's Signal Mountain against Trinity Christian. Signal Mountain has scored 666 points this year. 51 points a game. Trinity Christian, features one of the best players in the state, Jabril Washington. It's Cinderella against a team that has just been steamrolling everybody. We'll have that one at noon tomorrow. Greenville and Tresvant in 4A after that, and then the nightcap, and this ought to be a dandy, Maryville against Smyrna.
Those two teams have won some football games over the years.
They certainly have. Motion again on the offensive line. They'll walk him back 5 yards.
Talking about rebuilding a program here. What about Signal Mountain building a program?
We'll tell the story, I'm sure, in full tomorrow, but they started, the school opened in 2008, played junior varsity in 2008. They are 23-2 since Bill Price started the varsity program last August. So what is that, 16 months ago?
That'll be a fun one tomorrow, and if you're around Middle Tennessee and looking for something to do tomorrow before the SEC championship game, come up and be with us.
Brown goes toss. This is going to be Adams looking for room. He's got a bunch. Adams on his horse to midfield. And he is going to be taken down from behind on what might have been a touchdown-saving tackle by Ballou, a 26-yard run. That's what Hendersonville had to have, Larry.
And that was a nice run. Nice vision by the running back, finding the little opening, scooting through, and then finding the holes in the defense as he moved into the secondary. Watch him here. Takes the handoff. Nice block up the middle, and then inside where the openings were, he took a 10-yard run and made more out of it.
Adams is just a sophomore. We got a bunch of good sophomores in this game. Gonna throw. Brown in trouble. Has the ball stripped away, and he has to dive back on it at midfield. Excellent play by 59 Webb, who'll be credited with the quarterback sack as he knocked that ball away from Brown. Brown pounces on it. Loss of nearly 7 on the play. And more importantly, from the Columbia perspective, clock keeps running. We're under 5 minutes.
It almost looked as though, Mike, that Brown kind of lost his footing as he dropped back. And that allowed the defender to kind of get a beat on him quicker.
Hendersonville trying to be in a hurry, but it's not really what they do. Brown pumping, going deep downfield. Defense is there, and the pass is intercepted. Ballou, his second pick of the game, and I think that's just about going to do it. Ballou hobbling to the sidelines as he makes the leaping interception.
Well, you feel bad for Brown in that situation. Again, you got a young quarterback who's trying to make a play, trying to rally his team. He and the receiver, it didn't look like we're on the same page, because the receiver in this situation, it looked as though he thought that he was going to be able to make a diving catch for the football, but the ball kind of hung up in the air a little bit.
Well, when you're just trying to make something happen, it's tough. You're down 21 points. You're going after it. Gonna give the ball to Martin. He breaks away, and he's taken down the 17-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play.
You know this Hendersonville defense has to be worn out at this point.
Well, they've battled.
Yep.
I mean, they have hung in there as best they could, but they've given up 2, 3, 4 big plays. And in the end, that's going to be the difference in this ball game. Markham, a sophomore, playing like a veteran. Look at him count the clock down. Snapping it late in the play clock as he gives it to Martin, taken down from behind. Nice tackle. Coming in to make the stop for Hendersonville is Rogers, loss of 2.
Yeah, these Columbia fans, they're sensing this. They're sensing that they're going to be witness to something very, very special. Something special not only for their school, but for Murray County, who hasn't brought home a state championship in a while.
Since Spring Hill did it. When the great Orlando Wade was there, was he a running back? Markham giving it up the middle, and that's Goff who'd come in at fullback. They're going to let him power it up. He does not have the first down, and so with just under 3 minutes to go, the clock running, the punt team going to come out, but they're going to stall it for just a while. And still 18 on the play clock. They can run this down to about 2:20, maybe take a timeout. Markham standing over on the side. Markham is going to win a state championship as a sophomore. And he became their guy during a bye week. After 8 weeks, Columbia was 6-2, but their offense was going nowhere. And they said, we've got to make a change. And to do that, a 6-2 team, to make that call, that's some gutsy coaching right there.
It is, and the young man has proven that it was the right call. Not only has he played well, I mean, coming into this game, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, has not made mistakes, has been smart, and you see it just with what he's doing on this play, running the play clock down. He's a smart young man. He's a good leader. Best news of all, they got 2 more years with him.
Ballou's going to punt it. Punt nearly blocked. Adams takes it on the run. Here he goes. Young Adams turning the corner, showing great speed. Out of bounds. Just short of the 30-yard line. Jarrell Adams with a good run back. 44 yards on the punt, 23 on the return.
I come back to something you said earlier when you visited with the coaches and the staffs of these schools on Monday, and they said you're going to like this game. This has been a fun game. It's been well played, not a lot of mistakes. And if you like the run game, you've enjoyed this one.
But both teams have had their moments with the pass as well.
True.
Pretty finding a lot of room. Pretty to the 20. Cisco goes for a ride and finally gets him down about the 12. So Hendersonville not quitting. And they could have quit when they were 2-2. They could have quit when they lost the district. 19-yard run for Pretty. Not surprising, they're continuing to battle to the end, even though the odds are stacked way against them.
Well, and you know Columbia's defense, they don't want to give up points because the 7 that Hendersonville got was not on them.
It's on a fumble return. Running wide again. Good gain inside the 10-yard line. And making that run is number 35. Believe Kabasu. He picks up 4 yards on the play.
This defense has been stingy in the playoffs. 253 yards allowed. They've allowed just 15 points per game on average.
Official timeout right now. Well, and some of that too in going back and analyzing the wins as they were able to knock off Lenoir City 41-23. Lenoir City scored a bunch of those points late. They beat Catholic 34-23, and then they beat Tullahoma 31-14. Those 14 points came late. TSSAA Network.com is your comprehensive source for the best in Tennessee high school sports. Got a timeout right here for Columbia. TSSAA Network.com features comprehensive live and on-demand coverage of a wide variety of events, including the championship games across numerous sports. 1:11 remaining. 2nd and 5. Time now for our Blue Cross Bowl move of the game. And who is it? It's Tredarius Goff. 3 touchdowns rushing, over 80 yards on the ground for Tredarius Goff. Make that 83. And defensively, a quarterback sack, a form tackle in the open field. He's got to be in double digits in total tackles. Tredarius Goff, congratulations, our move of the game.
That should be called the moves of the game.
A lot of
He
moves.
showed some moves.
Inside handoff, ball is fumbled. Brown recovers it as Moore dropped it, and Brown is down at the 11-yard line.
Oh, he's hurt.
Well, he's taking some shots. Left the game earlier when he took a shot after releasing a pass. And now we're inside a minute. Hendersonville going to try to get a touchdown on 3rd down. And the Columbia fans, they waited a long time. They don't have to wait much longer. Rolling, Brown in trouble, rolling away, sacked. And who got him? Great. With 22 seconds left, Hendersonville. Are they going to try it one more time on 4th down? Bruce Hatfield, proud of his team, knows they're disappointed, and he says that's it. So, Columbia, the home of our 11th president, James K. Polk, the home of one of the greatest sportscasters of all time, Lindsey Nelson, the home of Mule Day, now the home of the 5A state champions. Congratulations to the Columbia Central Lions, winners over Hendersonville, 28-7. It took them a long time, but they're bringing the trophy home.
And what an emotional day it has to be for this football team. On the same day that you win a state championship, you've also had to deal with what is real life in the loss of a teammate, Dylan Rebor, who lost his battle with cancer early this morning. His family here, they were honored at halftime. And you saw a couple of players point to the sky as if to say, we did this for you, Dylan.
The story passed along that 5 minutes before Dylan Rebor passed, he asked, did we win? They told him yes. They were right. A hard-fought 5A Blue Cross Bowl. And if you're Hendersonville, you put everything you had in it. You were a number 5 seed. You beat Gallatin. You beat Henry County. You beat Clarksville Northeast, the team that eliminated you last year in triple overtime. You beat undefeated Ridgeway in a game where your special teams brought it home. They put everything they had into it, but tonight, Tredarius Goff and the Lions of Columbia just a little better.
And so many individual efforts in this football game. I mean, guys just making plays, different positions on the football field. It's a special moment for Columbia. Congratulations.
Goff finishing 11 rushes, 83 yards, and 3 touchdowns. A super performance. Matthew Markham, the young quarterback, 8 of 13 for 182 yards. It's their moment. Columbia, state champions in Class 5A. Last year, Beach downed Columbia 47-33. Tonight, Columbia takes the final step as they win over Hendersonville 28-7. Head coach Vance Ballou with our Jonathan Hutton.
We're standing by with Columbia head coach Vance Ballou, and the first state title since 1952. And Columbia was known as a place where football couldn't be successful. And you come in and have turned it into the first state championship in 58 years.
Well, I haven't done it. We've had people that have sacrificed for a long time to get to this point. 14 years, we had people that stood by us when we went through 4 losing seasons, and we had these kids believe in themselves ahead of time. You know, they come off four losing seasons, they get into the state championship game, and
last year and then come back and win it this year. We got so many great kids in our program, good students. They work hard. This is a very emotional day for us.
7-0 at halftime, and then you literally ran away with it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Guys?
That's Vance Ballou, 76-68 at Columbia Central, where he came to be an assistant coach and took over as the interim after one game in the 98 season. Had a successful run, 5 straight playoff appearances in 4A, and then went to 5A, 4 straight losing seasons before the last 2 years making the state championship game. There's Tredarius Goff, the offensive and defensive player of the game. You see the numbers, 11 rushes, 83 yards, the finisher, finishing drives all year, and the defensive leader, his 9th quarterback sack, and he was just dominant. In the second half, 16 rushes for 147 yards after rushing for just 41 yards in the first half, Larry Stone.
Oh, they did a nice job, made some adjustments at halftime, and then basically said, you know what, we're going to come out and we're going to run the football. It was a dominating half except for the one play that Hendersonville made.
Hendersonville's defense with a takeaway. Taylor Bozeman picking up a fumble and pitching it to Joe Townsend, who took it into the end zone, tied the game at 7, but 2 plays later, Markham to Hall, a 68-yard touchdown, and that was all the points it turned out they would need, although Goff would add 2 more touchdown runs. The Commandos come out to accept their runner-up trophy. That's Joe Townsend. He's going to be playing big-time football somewhere on Saturdays starting next year at 6'4", 285. He's a talent, one of the best to ever play for the Commandos. And as you weigh this, it's got to be incredibly painful to see the run end for Hendersonville, because every way the deck was stacked against them, and they kept fighting back.
They fought, and even in this game today, they kept fighting. And you see the raw emotion on the faces of the Hendersonville players, and it reminds you that football, while it's about the X's and O's, it is also about the emotions, the things that bring us together in both winning and losing. And both of these teams have had to deal with their share of those kind of emotions this season.
There may be no better feeling in the world than that. A lot of long days in the summer, a lot of time in the weight room. Enjoy it. You'll remember it the rest of your life.
It will unite you for the rest of your life.
50 years from now, they'll be getting together at Lindsey Nelson Stadium to celebrate this night. They are the 5A state champions. Well, it was about what we expected. It was a quality football game, quality programs all the way around. I think we got what we expected. We knew size-wise and maybe athletically there were some real advantages that Columbia had. Could they take advantage of those things? And they were able to do that.
Could they impose their will?
Right.
And that was exactly what they did in this football game tonight. But the great individual performances, I think, Mike, also stand out. Not just for Columbia. They made more of them, obviously. But Hendersonville, just some great individual efforts. And that's what you got to have if you're going to win a state championship.
It was 7-0. Columbia led at halftime, and there were fireworks right off the bat in the second half. This pass thrown to Eric Ballou. It's a fumble. Bozeman picks it up, and as he's being taken down by Cisco, he hands the ball to 57 Townsend, who might have stepped out of bounds, but he goes into the end zone for a touchdown. It's 7-all. 2 plays later, here we go. That's Dre Hall going up, taking it away from the defender. A 68-yard touchdown makes it 14-7. And then Tredarius Goff. 16 yards for 1, and then this 18-yarder. Watch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 defenders get their hands on him, can't get him to the ground, and that's why he's the most valuable player offensively and defensively. Final numbers, well, the Lions with balance, 182 in the air, 188 on the ground for a total of 370. Hendersonville 288. They do rush for 124, but the turnovers hurt them, and in the end, the big plays, the difference, as Columbia is able to make those big plays in a lot of different areas.
The turnovers hurt, and the other thing that hurt Mike was the ability that Columbia had to get pressure on the Hendersonville quarterback. They just weren't able to get in the flow that I think they thought they needed to work that passing game and then come back with those running plays.
And Columbia, well, you look at the senior class of 2010 and this senior class, the class of 2011, and what they have meant to this program, raising the overall level. This group of seniors we mentioned, they've been together since they were little guys, playing Pee Wee football in the Columbia Bulldogs program, winning a state championship in Little League Baseball, expecting to win. And that group last year set the bar, and now they've set the bar even higher for this group. But Markham's a sophomore, Martin's a sophomore, Hall's a sophomore. We haven't heard the last from Columbia and what Vance Ballew's got going there now.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch out. The road 840 from Columbia to Cookeville, there could be a lot more travels down that road the next several years with the talent on this football team.
And tomorrow we've got some good ones. Larry Stone and I are going to be back here at noon Central Time. Signal Mountain with their 51-point-a-game offense, scoring more than a point a minute, taking on Cinderella Trinity Christian, a 9-4 team that has won 3 playoff games in dramatic fashion. It's a David-Goliath matchup at noon. Then at 3:30 Central, Greenville, the Green Devils, taking on Tresman out of Memphis. And then tomorrow night, the 8th and final game in the Blue Cross Bowl, Maryville going for another state championship against perennial Middle Tennessee power, Smyrna.
Should be fun. Great memories being made here in Cookeville, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Some fascinating matchups.
Join us again tomorrow. More TSSAA State Championship football, the Blue Cross Bowl from Tucker Stadium in Cookeville. For Larry Stone and Jonathan Hutton, Mike Keith says thanks so much for being with us. We've got a lot more tomorrow. We'll see you back here.